Hey guys, welcome back to another PS2 Memories video. Here we are taking a look at a budget racing game by the name of White Van Racer that was developed and published by Phoenix Games for the PS2 back in 2007. And pretty much the game is just your typical budget style racing game. Although this game has a little bit of a different twist, as you're actually racing likes of work style vans, like your typical kind of vans you would see like on the roads on a daily use, like on the daily jobs. Like you race like from normal kind of like workhorse kind of vans all the way through to like caddies and even like some ice cream trucks and work type trucks. But the premise of the game is very simplistic. There's not an awful lot to this game. To be honest, actually, myself personally, I didn't even know that this game had actually been released at all, even on the PlayStation. I just happened to stumble across it as I was looking for games on the internet to play, and I just seen this here and I thought I would actually give it a try. Now, trying to find information about the game, there isn't really much information about it, and I suppose with some valid reasons, as the game, like I said, it is a budget title, but there's not really much to it. Like, the game actually plays okay from having played it. The graphics themselves are very simplistic. There's not an awful lot to it. The tracks that you're racing on are literally just from point to point sprint style races. There's no laps involved. You literally just have to get from one end of the stage to the other. It's pretty much very similar to the likes of playing like a rally style game. The only difference is you have multiple vehicles on the track at the same time, so you're trying to pass them in order to reach first place. Now, the game is fiddly, and with it being a budget style game, you can definitely see a lot of the issues that do crop up from time to time. Even though the game plays okay, but if at any point that you get into a bit of bother when you're actually playing it, you'll notice it when you actually come in contact with, say, other obstacles or the likes of, like, say, certain environmental elements where the van can glitch out or get stuck, or even it can really affect the handling. So it definitely isn't as polished compared to other games, but for a budget style game, what do you expect really? Now, the races themselves, like the vans that you drive, they all have their own type of handling characteristics in the game, but they're not anything really that's going to make or break the kind of design of the game. The vans aren't overly quick as well, which is another thing to take note of, and as a result of that, sometimes the races can probably go on a little bit longer than they probably should. But in saying that, it's a relatively short, it's a simple game. There's no real kind of like premise to it. It's just your typical arcade race, or it's literally you just get from point A to point B. You unlock different vehicles and tracks as you go through the game. There's no like real like kind of like process or story to it. It's just a typical old school type racer where you just have to do the bare essentials to get through it. Now, for something that you want to try out for a quick blast, it might be actually worth looking into. Now, I don't even know now whether this game got any sort of decent reviews or anything online. I'd imagine that it probably didn't, but I'll be honest, actually haven't played it myself. I definitely, in my opinion, I think that every game deserves some sort of a look, regardless of people's opinion. Yes, there'll be people out there that'll probably just tear into this game and really hate it, but then there's others out there that might just be able to just play it and accept it for what it is, which is what I've been willing to do, and I says I give it a go. And it's definitely not the worst game I've ever played. Believe me, it's actually not. It does have its gripes, but it's good just for a quick pick up and play for like for about 5 or 10 minutes if you have a bit of time, and even just to kind of play more of these style of games. Again, I'm all for exploring different style of games, and because of the fact that I'm a big fan of racing games, I do believe that it is worthwhile actually having a look at some of them, even if they're not that great, especially when you compare it to other titles. Like, by all means, it's something that's different, because there's not too many games out there that actually allows you to really race as vans in type of like a rally kind of style setting. So I suppose it does have its own unique quirks, but I suppose it is what it is. It's a budget title. You're not really going to get too much about it. The one major gripe and hold up that I did have, apart from the glitches and stuff in the game, is the loading times on the screen. Even though, right, it looks quick in the video because I edited it just to speed things up, but it took an absolute age to load the game up. So that definitely was a big issue. So that's, even though the game itself might put a lot of people off, but most people, due to the loading screens, may not have actually even bothered to play the game, to be honest, because it would have taken that long to boot up. So it definitely would have thrown a lot of people off. But it is what it is. It's a budget style game. if you are into budget style racers, there's plenty of them on the PlayStation, especially towards the midpoint or towards the end of the PlayStation 2's life cycle. You started to see a lot of these games actually crop up, and a lot of these type of games were all created by these type of developers, and you can see that the quality in the games, although they're okay to play, but they're not as good compared to the more polished titles, and you will see that more often than not throughout the course of the likes of games on the system. I'd love to know your thoughts though of games like this here, or even if you actually have even played this game, or does anyone even know more about it, and what did you actually think of it? Be sure to share it down in the comments below. So if you'd like to see more of these type of videos where I do gameplay and reviews of budget style games that were released on the PlayStation 2, then make sure to leave a like on the video. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be updated whenever future videos are released. Also make sure to check out some of the other videos here on screen where I have provided other reviews and gameplay videos of other similar budget style games that were also released on the PS2 back in the day. So make sure to check them out, and I will see you in the next one.